Wyloch here, welcome back. Today let's kick it old school and add to our collection of clip-on features for our dungeon tiles. So real quick, let's brush up on how we make these clip foundations. Remember that our walls are a 1/4 inch thick, so we start with double corrugated cardboard, because it's a 1/4 inch thick. And cut the center of the sandwich, but a 1/2 inch less the height. So if you want your final clip to be 2 inches wide and 1.5 inches tall, you would cut this 2 inches wide and 1 inch tall. Then with chipboard or cereal box, cut 2 pieces to the desired size. So this one here I'm doing is 2 inches by 1.5 inches. Of course, you shouldn't go any wider than 2 inches. If you adhere to that rule, then you know it'll always fit all of your tiles, including the worst case scenario, which is the dead end geometry. And then some thin cardstock or even just paper, rip a strip and hot glue it to cover the corrugation. Notice we have a 1/2 inch tall gap underneath, and that's what's going to grip the wall. Paint it to match your dungeon. I keep it simple. Black bomb, kitchen sponge to dab on some dark gray, and then dab on some light gray. So to make the map, I'm going to go to Google, search for fantasy map, and we'll limit this to images and just sort of scroll, look for one that we like, and I'm thinking this one here looks pretty good, so let's check that one out. And we'll click view image to go and look at the actual source. Right click and copy image. Then I'm going to go to Microsoft Word, and we'll do a paste. Good, there it is. And if we go to format, we can change the width. I'm going to make it a little less than 2 inches actually, so that it's well within the clip-on foundation. So 1.9 inches should be good. Yeah, and it's a little tall. I'm just going to make it not quite so tall. Good, that's fine. All right, so that easy. And this is ready for printing. Just for sake of robustness, I'm going to glue stick this and double it over to make it double thick paper, and then just cut it out with scissors. Then hot glue it onto the foundation. Use toothpicks or matchsticks to add a frame if you want to. I like it as is. How about some creeping vines? So prior to painting, add lines using your hot glue gun. Thin beads, go slowly. After painting up the dungeon scheme, paint the vines green. Then, optionally, take your homemade sawdust flocking, paint on some white PVA glue, and flock. In hindsight, I should have only applied glue about half the vines and also used a darker color flock. So live and learn, now you won't make that mistake. You can always do real simple magic trinkets. Here's a bead and a clear green marble. Just hot glue them together, and then hot glue them to the foundation. And lastly, let's do a water spout. Hot glue on a bead, and then unfold a paper clip and form it into an arc. Inject some hot glue into that bead and insert the paper clip. And chop it to length so that it's flush with the bottom of the clip-on. On a scrap of cardstock, hot glue the other end of the paper clip, and then tease glue outward from there to make it look like splashing. Then coat the entire paperclip with hot glue and sort of tease it. Paint up the water with blues of your choice. And before we go to the table, I'd like to take a moment to thank all WCV sponsors. This week I draw your attention to Heroes Horde, which is an excellent resource for 3D printed scenery, including, but not limited to, all TrueTiles products. So if you're into 3D printing, even if it's just to supplement your conventional crafting, it is worth a click to check it out and see what's what. Alright, let's throw down some tiles and see what we can do. If you're new to the channel, you can check out episodes 1 through 4, or my first live stream for how to make these dungeon tiles. So we'll go ahead here and we'll clip on the water spout and the magic orb thing. The map, we'll put that at the dead end, and the creeping vines. We'll use that as a clip to hold 2 tiles together. Throw a couple other decor on here. And a couple of miniatures, cardstock miniatures. Alright, let's check this out. Episode 21 has those scrolls and books in case you're interested in those. You can see the map on the table. That's done exactly as we did in this episode. It's just glued onto a table, and I folded it so that it hung over the edge like that. So that's pretty cool. You could see how you might, I don't know, use the map feature as part of the player's lair or something like that. Potions, Episode 7. Cardstock Miniatures, Episode 9. Of course, you can paint up the water as acid or poison or whatever you like for a trap. So I am Wyloch, thank you for joining me, and I'll see you next time.